Well, here we go again, folks. Time to shoot my mouth off again. This Ukraine, Russia, and the way the United States, I should say Biden, is handling it. I see the main problem is Ukraine and Russia has been for years, okay? Russia does not want Ukraine to join the United Nations because that puts too much power all around his country. Makes sense. If Russia wanted to invade and take over Ukraine, hell, it could have done it years ago. It could do it now if it wanted to. Biden is calling, and a few other countries are calling, Russia has invaded Ukraine. Russia has not invaded Ukraine. Russia is only protecting the Russians in the eastern part of the country. And basically, that's his right. That I do not call an invasion. And as far as Ukraine, they've been trying to get rid of those people in the eastern part, the Russians, in the eastern part of Ukraine. So basically, that's why Russia's there to protect them. I don't think too much of the Ukrainian president. All he cares about is all them hundreds of millions of dollars in aid plus billions of dollars worth of military equipment. And the United Nations, which is run by the USA, of course, they're more than happy to have Ukraine on their side, which could be a problem for Russia if it ever got to it. And as far as nuclear weapons, no, Putin's not crazy. Biden, I'm not too sure about him. But as one Russian once said, I think it was 1967, nobody wants a nuclear war. The closest it ever came was with 1963 over Cuba. And thank God we had a man named Kennedy, and we had a Russian leader called Khrushchev. The hotline between the United States and Russia was accomplished under Kennedy. They talked, looked over the problems each one's concerned about. Russia was concerned about weapons in a certain part of the world that could go against Russia. The United States is concerned about so-called nuclear weapons in Cuba. At that time, all our politicians, all our generals, hell, they were so close to wanting to nuke Cuba. You can't believe some of these people. But like I say, thank goodness for Kennedy and Khrushchev because they solved the problem. We move this, Khrushchev will move that. And as Khrushchev said, we're not crazy, but you people could be because, first of all, you're the only country that's ever used nuclear weapons. And that scares the hell out of us. Which makes sense. So why is Biden putting so many troops, so much artillery, so much warplanes into the countries bordering Ukraine? Is it to protect them? First of all, where in the hell there's any indication at all that Biden is going to attack the UN countries? Stupidest damn thing I ever heard of. So why is he building up so much power to threaten Russia? That's the only way I see it. Threaten Russia. If Russia invaded Ukraine, maybe. But like I say, Russia has no real thing right now as far as invading Ukraine. That's not their problem. The problem really should be between Ukraine and the Russians. They need to solve that problem. They need to solve that problem. And supplying Ukraine with all those hundreds of millions of dollars worth of aid, of course the president of Ukraine is going to get wealthy out of it, and all the military equipment, it just means more of a threat to Russia. And if most people are like me, if they're threatened, it makes me nervous. Doesn't make me paranoid, but God damn it, it makes me nervous. So I don't know why we're trying to flex our muscles so much, especially with UN countries that hell, they don't even support their share. We take care of it. That's why we run the United Nations. And I kind of agree with Kennedy, or not Kennedy, but I'm sorry, I agree with Trump. United Nations, as far as a protection and a peacekeeping organization, they suck, especially in peacekeeping. Now, as Putin said, it's a peacekeeping force. He's moving into those breakaway areas in the east of Ukraine. And that I figure he has a right to do that, because they are Russian people and they have a right to be protected. Takes me back to a conflict that's been going on since, 1947, between Israel and the Palestinians. Which, in a way, is just a problem that's been ongoing for since 1947. So I don't think we need to push Russia so hard, because the last thing in the world you want to do is push somebody too damn hard. You push them too hard and you might get reactions you don't really want. And I get right back to the same problem. It's going to cost the poor working people around the world millions and millions and billions of dollars a day, just because of the oil. The oil people. A lot of them are Biden's buddies. They're getting filthy rich, billions of dollars a day the way they're going. That's the sad part. That is the sad part. Millions of people having to suffer because of a few things politicians do. And a lot of it